It's always great to see Jose in the building. James Johnson will make his second consecutive start this evening for the Toronto Raptors. The season started hot for the Raptors. Then they arrived in Florida and things went cold. After memorable wins in Dallas and OKC, we, the North, stumbled in Orlando and got beat bad in Miami. Coach Casey was inspired to make a commitment.
We're going to get better. I promise you that. We'll bounce back. We're going to get back at home, get back to work, and we'll be a better team.
And with that guarantee, Lowry and DeRozan are home and need a win. Tonight's opponent is beatable on paper, but Carmelo and Jose don't see it that way, do they? Will home cook and warm up the Raptors, or will the Knicks keep them cool? Only one way to find out. It's a divisional battle at the Air Canada Centre. Toronto, New York, now. Welcome, everyone, to Toronto. It's time for BMO Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 1, the first meeting between the New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors this season. The Toronto Raptors 5-2, and on this rainy night, no better place to be inside than the Air Canada Centre. The Toronto Raptors home this evening, then they head back out on the road. They'll be back home on Friday before heading out west for a lengthy 5-game road trip. Welcome, everyone. Courtside, Matt Dev alongside Leo Rout. Certainly glad to have you along. DeMarre Carroll will not go this evening for the Toronto Raptors. Second consecutive game that he will miss because of a sore right heel. And also receiving the news that Terrence Ross is out this evening with a left thumb sprain. And so that means that you're going to see James Johnson, you're going to see the bench. But specifically, let's talk about James Johnson's second consecutive start after starting on Sunday against Miami.
And when you have an opponent like Carmelo Anthony on the floor for the New York Knicks, it's a great opportunity for James Johnson to do what he does best, and that's defend, be physical, get in the face of Carmelo Anthony. I thought he did a really good job, especially early in the game in Miami, played with a lot of energy, moved the basketball, moved well without the basketball, and stayed within his game, which is going to be the key here, as well as staying out of foul trouble.
Patrick Patterson, Terrence Ross, they both struggled on that road trip. Terrence Ross had a combined 9 points. What does he have to do to get going? The Raptors need his productivity off of the bench.
They really do. Number one, obviously make shots, and he's just got to shoot the ball with confidence. You see him aiming a little bit, not taking a normal release on his shot. When you have it, you take it. As long as you're taking good shots, that's all that matters. And make good decisions with the basketball. Make the game a little easier by trying to get to the free throw line, put the ball on the floor, try to get to the rim, and just continue to work at the defensive end and offer the Raptors something there. But Patrick Patterson, you know he can shoot. We've seen it. He's just got to relax and play.
All right, that means that it's Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan time, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, two guys that can score. We saw on Sunday night that Kyle struggled a little bit shooting the basketball, but we know DeRozan and Lowry can be dynamic.
And the Raptors really need their best in this game, especially coming off a tough 2 losses on the road. You want to make sure that you bring your A game. Kyle Lowry, he competed. He tried to give that against Miami, just couldn't get enough of it. Now, DeMar DeRozan, physical game against the Heat. It's going to be a little different game here, but it's a game where he's got to get to the free throw line. He's been doing a phenomenal job of that to start the season. Continue to put pressure on the backcourt of the New York Knicks by attacking and going. Kyle Lowry, one of the things that he can do in this game is to speed up the game a little bit. Try to make the offense a little easier by not having to play 5-on-5 if he can push it and get the Raptors into a good rhythm in transition.
And then also knock down that transition 3. We've seen him do that, and it's certainly something that helps out the Toronto Raptors. All right, let's send it over to Eric Smith and Michael Grange.
All right, thank you, Matt. Michael, it was less than 6 months ago that folks in New York were wondering who the heck Kristaps Porzingis was, and they were thinking the Knicks had blown a draft